Ladies and gentlemen, I think we
We're live.
are
I'm
live.
live, bro. We're live. It's
Hopefully,
welcome to Alex, the Monday night Alex and Prash show. Diddle did diddle diddle did.
it is
Hello.
happening. It is happening.
Happy Christmas, boys and girls. Happy Christmas, Prash.
Season's greetings. Season's greetings. Happy Christmas and happy festive season. Happy holidays to everyone out there.
Prash, I believe you're in Harrow, aren't you?
I am indeed.
I'm
And you're traveling.
I'm under the sea because I'm King Oberon in The Little Mermaid, and I'm under the sea in Aberdeen. Aberdeen, it's a lovely place, Aberdeen. That's why I love to do pantomime. I get to travel the country. But today, Master Prash, as it's the spiritual mind, body, and spirit Alex and Prash talk time, what are we leaving behind in 2019? And I'm going to kick straight off and get a bit woo-woo and heavy. It's not even woo-woo. Yeah. I love Star Wars, and as cheesy as it might sound, and I consider myself a Jedi. I'm a Jedi on a consensus. Now, the biggest, most famous Jedi out there, or Sith, is Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. He struggled with the dark side. And now, why am I talking about Star Wars and leaving stuff behind in 2019? All my life, been motivated by fear, and fear has driven me to. I was bullied as a kid, so I became a fighter, and in my 44 years of life on this planet, I kind of let that go. Although I've got another competition coming up, it's not about proving myself that I'm good. I used to prove myself that I'm good enough, but now I was driven by the fear, and I needed the acceptance of others. I still have that to some degree. And why I say about Anakin Skywalker, Yoda said, George Lucas actually was a Buddhist Methodist, and he did a lot. I think it was a Sufi, but there's lots of different religious concepts in Star Wars, and it's actually, although it's science fiction, it's very apt in today's modern world, very clever. He was trying to put across with Anakin Skywalker, Yoda was saying he had fear. What the fear that led him to go to the dark side was the death of Padme, his wife, his love. He was so scared. He was attached. It was attachment, which is a Buddhist concept. So I am so attached. And it made me think about this, is as much as it's Star Wars, about attachment. The Buddhist concept and Yoda's concept of the Jedi is to let go of the attachment. I mean, people might want to be a Jedi because it sounds fun and swishing your lightsaber around and going on missions and stuff. But actually, that's not what a true Jedi is about. I mean, I sound like I'm talking science fiction. This is actually from Buddhist philosophy. It's about to let go of all of that. And now I still have attachment in this life. And when you let go of the attachment, the pain of losing someone, obviously you're not going to ever let go of the pain, but let go of the need to want them to. Unfortunately, my father passed away 4 years ago. And I believe he fought valiantly to live for me. And he was in pain. And I kind of gave him permission spiritually to let him to go. And then he literally passed. Now, it's very sad because my attachment, I want my parent, you want your parents to live forever. You've lost your father. You tell me about that, Prash. I mean, I'm intrigued. Why am I saying this? My mother's very, very poorly. And it makes me very sad. And there's going to be lots of people out there who they don't want to let go.
No.
But ultimately, I'll talk about that again. I'll go back to that in a second. We'll just park that there. The things that I do fear, and I wake up every day with a bit of fear because I want more things. I have an attachment to worldly goods, to how I should be. And I know all this stuff spiritually, that's a load of bollocks. and I should be attaining more. But there's still a part of me that
Yeah.
realizes, hang on, I have carnal desires and needs, and I need to attain those. I need to work a bit harder. I want to be like my mate who's got the nice car and a nice house. And me and my lovely lady were striving for a child. More than anything, it's not about having a nice house and a nice car. It's about providing. So there's that pressure. And what I for 2019, what I'm letting go of is that fear. That fear, that attachment of, will I get it? Will it happen? And then I can just relax. Because I'm working diligently. I'm a good guy. I know I'm a good guy. Why am I wasting my energy on negative crap? It's going to happen. Something at some point is going to happen. I mean, I've worked steadily throughout the year, and I'm having to graft again, with how I did many, many years ago before the celebrity bug hit me. And do you know what? It feels good, but it's scary. And it's trying to let go. There's still going to be a bit of fear, but let go of that fear. And I'm just going to go back to where we were with Mum. That I have such attachment there. I don't want my mum to die. Yeah. She's and I'm all right saying this because she suffers from Alzheimer's and she's never going to see this. And the people who know her, love her, I'm not being insensitive. We all pretty much know it's not great. And it's so sad, and it's the saddest thing. But I have to let go of that. Or do you? Tell me. What would you? I mean, I know what I think, and I'm dealing with it. But I'm intrigued as a fellow coach, Prash. What would your opinion? How would you coach your clients? Someone going through grief, and they know someone's in a situation where they could potentially pass. You lost your father, so you should know a bit about this. What do you think?
For sure. When I knew, I mean, my father's passing on was quite sudden, which made it even harder.
And you were very young, weren't you?
I was young when that happened. Yeah, younger, considerably younger than, obviously, where you and I are now. And somehow, by the good graces of the universe, the good graces of nature and providence, I had already begun my personal development journey prior to my father passing away. In fact, I began it when I lost my mom. And that sent me off on a journey. When I lost my mom.
What was the time difference between losing them?
There was a good 17 years.
Oh, right, yeah.
A good 14 years, maybe. And it was a real difficult time. But what I had done is I had accepted that there is what I want and what I am attached to versus what their journey is and where they and what their karma is. And when you learn to separate the two, when you realize that they're on their journey over here, you're on your journey over here, you guys came together for a period of 10, 20, 30, 40, if you're lucky, 50 years with your parents, but then your time pulls you apart. If you know that from the beginning, if you're wise to that, then you accept, look, this person in this body, and I prep myself that, look, my dad, body incapable and inadequate to carry this soul any further. And therefore, he's going to need to change that body. So rather than thinking, I'm going to lose my dad and he's gone forever, I just saw him as a fellow soul.
I have to stop there for 1 second. What you've just said has just given me the most lovely, warm sensation and feeling. Thank you. I know this, and I rationalize this. What Prash has just basically said is, we're always souls, we're eternal. We will see our loved ones again one day, and that's my dad's with me now as we speak, and that's thank you, Prash, thank you. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but that was wonderful.
Thanks, Alex. It's the truth, and it was the truth, and it is the truth, because at the end of the day, we're walking around in these cages called bodies, and if we see that that's just this body is inadequate or insufficient, then that person's just going to move on. And in fact, that leads nicely to the analogy that I wanted to use for this live right here about what are we leaving behind in 2019. And I have this question for all of you who are watching this on the live or on the replay. Have you ever had to take rubbish from your place of residence, your house, your flat, wherever, and take it to a garbage dump because you didn't have enough space in your own dustbin, so you had to drive to the garbage tip. A bunch of rubbish. I think most of us have had that experience wherever we are in the world. And I know people tune in from the States and Australia on this. I think we've all had that experience. We've all had to take rubbish in our vehicles to the garbage dump. Now imagine this. Imagine you put the rubbish into your car, but you forgot to go to the garbage dump. And instead the rubbish stayed in the backseat of your car for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Can you imagine the smell, the god-awful smell that would pollute that car, pollute your driving experience, your ambient, your mind? You'd just go crazy with that horrible smell that's festered over weeks, right? Would anybody ever do that? No, they'd throw the garbage. What would you do? We'd all throw the rubbish away. The moment we realize, oh, I forgot the rubbish in the car, the next day after that, you'd go and throw it away. But guess what? Here we are. Most adults carry rubbish that they're supposed to throw away, and they carry it into the following year.
Yeah.
They take it with them. They hold on to the rubbish that's weighing them down that they know
yes.
they need to get rid of, and they just take it into the next year.
Yes.
Instead of getting rid of it, and then they start to suffer more and more and more. What rubbish are we talking about? Let me give some examples. That person you didn't forgive. Alex, I know you can talk about that.
Let's talk about that quickly. This was, and thank you for the last session we had on it. It was a bit, and I apologise, it was a bit more like a coaching session. I was struggling. I had a hard time.
Yeah.
And thanks, bro. You helped me out there. Basically, I was arguing with my family members, and me and Nikki hadn't celebrated Christmas. We haven't even put up a decoration. It's feeling bar humbug. Obviously, my mum's poorly, and there's a few other reasons which I'm not allowed to say, which make me very sad. So didn't really feel like celebrating Christmas, but mainly family. And what did we say? The best present we can give on Christmas, you said, is to forgive. And oh, amen. I'll actually say, hallelujah, praise the Lord, Jesus Christ. I've got all Christian, and I was like, I went and forgave. I've forgiven my brother. I've forgiven my brother-in-law. And I wasn't going to do it. And I'm like, I can't do this. I just drove past the house after seeing Mum to come back to London. And I knocked on his door, and I can't believe I did it. And I just gave him a cuddle. And I went in, and it was weird. And I just felt I was welcome in there. I saw my family, who I miss. So although I'm having to let go, unfortunately, of my mother, which is sad. And I don't want to sound morbid. I'm just being a realist. And I've still got my family. And it was the most lovely feeling in the world. Forgiving. I have let go of anger, which I've been holding for months, about 6 months of anger in one cuddle. And I thought about what you said time and time again. And that was so wonderful. So that I've already got such a great gift because I feel like I've got my family back. Right. So thank you, Prash.
Man.
I mean, I have to obviously take the kudos to go and do that.
Take all the kudos, man.
Because we get words of wisdom, but it takes some balls to get and do that because and I just went in there. And it was lovely. And we've made friends again, and it's nice.
Amazing, right? Because sometimes one person's ego is too big to let them do that, or their pride. Sometimes we got to be the bigger man, or take one for the team, right? And just go and do that.
And there was one thing you said as well, which made me think, hang on. It reminded me, because I've done things on Christmas for less unfortunate people, gone to children's cancer victim wards, soup kitchens, this sort of stuff. And you realize, hang on, what am I worried about? This is all silly. I'm a king. I'm my world, I've got central heating, I've got a refrigerator, I've got a roof over my head, I've got wheels, I've got money coming in. I've got a few challenges, but I mean, really, that made me look at things in a different perspective and feel so grateful. And that gratitude allowed me to let go of crap. But there are still moments, like I said, I want to let go of fear. I still get woken up on oh, you need to get this, you need to do that. You want to have another child, you've got to go and work, bro. You've got to get up, and that drives me. I mean, I've changed my lifestyle irrevocably for these things, but letting go of the fear and just accepting that it's going to be all right.
Yeah, for sure. And fear's one. Let me just throw in a couple others here that, you know, I come across a lot, you know, and it's one of those core things that comes up, core themes that comes up with, you know, a lot of the clients that I've worked with over the years. And, you know, I don't care whether they're business owners or whether they're professionals or unemployed, these themes keep coming up. Look, we unfortunately keep carrying out the rubbish bags, the garbage bags of fear, as you say, excessive attachment to things that aren't good for us. Here's a few more: old beliefs and habits that are no longer serving us. You may have an old belief that I'm rubbish, I'm a piece of crap, I'll never make anything of my life because your parents told you that, or your ex-partner told you that, or whoever. And you carry that from 2019 into your new decade. Then you're carrying that old belief, and that's not going to serve you. Then there are the old habits, right? The poor eating habits, the I'll get to it later procrastination habit, the I'll call my family member up or look after my kid or pay attention to my partner when I'm ready thing. All these habits that aren't serving us, our personal health habits, fear habits, right? Habits that we cultivate out of fear. All of these things are not serving us. Then you've got those old wounds, right? The wounds that we haven't attended to, the wound that you attended to, the wound that you actually had the guts to go knock on your brother-in-law's door, go deal with it. Unfortunately, many of us don't face those wounds. So they sit there and they fester like the garbage bag in the back seat of our car.
This is such brilliant advice, Prash. So for me, if I could just take away from what you've said, studying this for several years now, my life is changing. I feel like I don't recognize myself because I'm changing for the better. I used to be driven by fear, by the need to be tough and strong and anger. And now when you let go of those kind of things, your whole world changes, your paradigm shifts, and things, until you've been there, people want to be, an alpha male. He wants to be tough and strong and all the time, and everything is, I went into the gym, for instance, today, and the guy, I really need a massage because my body's beaten up and I'm training so hard. And I joked to the guy, what I could have done. I joked to the guy, yeah, are you the happy ending guy? And he was a big butch Scott dude. And I'm like, it could have gone the wrong way. And I went in the change room. People shouldn't have said that. He took it absolutely, because I had no agenda, no ego.
Yeah.
And I read the situation, but I just tried to lighten up the situation, because I went into an alpha male tough gym and I thought, this guy's a little bit leery, you know. And I made him smile and laugh. And
nice.
Why I was saying it, because I have, I can take jovialness.
Yeah, you don't, maybe,
would you say the situation?
Yeah, you can assess it. Would you say also that that's also come about because you don't take yourself so seriously anymore, that you cut yourself some slack?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Has that been part of your realization over 2019? That...
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And it's I still, even when guys challenge me, I had someone say something really nasty on the internet. Actually, today, I did a post about the gym and someone went, "You're only famous because of Katie Price." I couldn't even say that word now. I couldn't say that for so long. You're only famous. Shouldn't you go and thank Katie Price? I'm like,
that's evolution right there. That's progress right there. That you can even talk about it without feeling attacked and hurt by it. Right?
I thought, shall I block her? Shall I say, no, it's not even worth it. I'm like, okay. They were trying to rile me up. And I was like, I was aware of it because it made me think. They were trying to goad me. I mean, I used to get guys. I'm all right with the tough guys trying to want to have a fight with me. I actually don't mind that. I kind of find that as it gives me an ego boost, because they still want to fight me. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. You don't need to fight me. Look, you're big and strong. You'd kill me in a minute. Yeah, I can say that. I don't have any ego in that respect. But when it's some people's warrior, I used to get so riled up. For a millisecond, I had to assess that's not nice. She's trying to say you're only famous for Katie Price. Oh, you're famous. You can say it like that. You can, well, at least I'm famous. But
I think that, you know, the message, the take homes here are, you know, is you yourself couldn't recognize the Alex that was here maybe a year or 2 years ago, because you've invested that time. You've invested that. You've overcome those barriers to your self-evolution, right? And I think
tell me about you, though. Tell me about you, Prash. I mean, what about you? What are you going to let go of in 2019? Because you're the guru, right? But we're not. I'm sure your poo smells still a little bit, and you know some things. You've got a few problems. Yeah,
it's vegan poo. Vegan poo smells. It smells just like any other person's poo.
So tell me what's going on with you. Tell me, I've got your foibles.
So I think for me, one of the things I'm going to leave behind is staying up really excessively late and staying up excessively late and working at crazy hours, beating myself up that I didn't do enough on the daytime or the day before, and then making up for it and burning candles at both ends. Now, now let me explain a little deeper, because I'm a coach, I'm a spiritual teacher, so I had to go do it deeper, and I had to ask myself, why am I even doing that? And I realized that I was doing those long hours. I was staying up late. It wasn't really because I didn't feel I had done enough in the day. It was out of a fear. It was driven by fear that if I don't do this somehow, I'm going to be a failure and I'll never make it. Or I'm going to be a failure and I will let myself down. Now, fear can be a good thing when used in the right way. But as you've described very rightly from the beginning of this session, fear can also be very dangerous if it's not managed. And I didn't manage that small aspect of fear, and it started to eat into my sleeping schedule and stuff. So I'm definitely leaving behind late nights unnecessarily, and the fear associated with me punishing myself because I didn't put in the hours. I'm going to now accept that things will unfold as they do. And what I'm going to take into 2020 is a realization that I don't need to work late to work better. I just need to work better to work better. And that can be done in the day. And I'm going to not be so attached to that fear. So that's a realization for me, man, that I'm taking in, along with a bunch of other realizations. But that was one for sure. It's been a year of growth for me as well in business and, you know, my own kind of cultivation.
Tell me, being spiritually aware, do you notice your growth? Oh, because when you're so advanced,
I think
it's very small increments, or sometimes for me, I feel.
No, you do. Imperceptible. No, but you do. You notice your growth, and you know, say advanced. I still see myself as a student on the path, right? And so there's always a tendency to forget to be humble and recognize when you're screwing up. But there's also a tendency to overlook the good things that we have accomplished because we think, it's small, it's imperceptible. So you've got to walk that middle path where you cut yourself some slack when you screw up and be humble enough to recognize mistakes. And on the other hand, be kind enough to yourself to know that you've done something good here. Pat yourself on the back if nobody else is doing it. And I think, folks, if you can take that away, if we can all of us, go into 2020, giving ourselves more pats on our back, loving ourselves more and acknowledging ourselves more for the good that we do, for the knock on the door at your brother-in-law's house, for giving him a big hug, that you want one, for being there and standing and being a pillar for your mum. Right? You may not have been a perfect pillar, but you're still there. For tolerating family members who might be putting you down, for dealing with that hater who's saying silly things about you on Facebook, and for us to rise above that and still be kind to ourselves. That's a massive win for all of us, folks.
So, guys, what if I can't see the comments from here, unfortunately?
There's a few comments. It's all love. It's all love.
What are you going to let go of, and what are you looking for in 2020? For me, I'm going to sum it up quick. It's more forgiveness and letting go of attachment to wanting more materialistic things. I'm like, I don't, because now I don't. I keep thinking, do I really want that? I don't really need that. I don't really want that. I struggled then because I was like, do I even want that now? What makes me happy? You know, something so simple, such simple simplicity. I'm generally more content. I mean, I still need a few. I need some quality things.
Yeah,
to be able to survive. But we need tools, you know.
May need a few toys, but I think it's incremental detachment and incremental self-love. These are two great things to take. So, I mean, I think we're out of time. So, and talking of self-love, Alex, we got an invitation for everyone, folks. March the 6th till the 8th, 2020, Friday till Sunday. Come and join us, Alex and myself, for our signature mind, body, soul detox and transformation wellness weekend in the heart of Essex.
We're going to teach you
Sunday.
We're talking lots of conversations like we've just talked about, but with some practical takeaways. Yeah. So how can you use this? How can you start feeling better in life? Lots of meditation, chanting, mantras, martial arts, breathing. Breathing is so important. Healthy nutrition. You are what you eat. We are what we think. So we need to move. We need to think better, and we need to breathe better, and we need to eat. We need to have nutrition for our mind, body, and spirit. So come and check it out. I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
I really can't wait. I'm excited.
We're all excited. We're going to do more of this, so we're going to get you warmed up for this beautiful weekend. But in the meantime, folks, as always, like, share, comment, share this with people so that this wisdom spreads. There's a lot of fantastic, good-hearted people. No matter how imperfect we are, there's some great people here who watch these videos. Our invitation is go share them, like them, spread the word, and we will catch you on another episode. Alex, I know you're busy.
Happy New Year, boys and girls. I'm in Scotland, so it's Hogmanay.
You have a good Christmas out there. Keep touring, keep doing what you're doing. I know you're going to conquer those Scottish people. You don't ask any big Scottish gentlemen for any happy ending, and I think you'll be fine.
I see you, Gemma.
I see you. Hug me. All right, folks. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace out. Till next one.
Let me turn it off. There is that one. Please.